Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Although I have already made a video on the topic of summary writing, but in these exams days, when the students are practicing summary writing, they are making many mistakes in different categories, which I want to highlight through today's video. And secondly, since I have started the examiner report of 2023 May June, and previously I talked about text A, and today is the turn of text B, which is summary writing. This is in particular with the candidates of 0500 IGCSE English First Language. But as far as the general rules of summary writing are concerned, they are similar to all the candidates who are appearing for 1123 or any other subject code of English, because summary is a summary. So the tips will be the same whether the exam is different. So my dear students, starting with the summary writing tips. These tips I have not made myself. I have taken them from the examiner report of 2023 summer. And the first instruction given by the examiner is that length was often an indicator of the level of the response, meaning that when they checked the summary question of the students, when the length was extremely short, apparently, an experienced teacher comes to know about the attempt of the student by just having a glance at it. So apparently, when the length was very short, it was an indicator of a poor response. In the same way, if the length was extremely lengthy, exceeding the word limit, it was again an indicator of a poor attempt. So let me complete the sentence which the examiner has written for the guidance of the candidates in the examiner report, that length was often an indicator of the level of the response, with some responses being too short due to a small number of relevant ideas identified and others very long and wordy due to unnecessary information and comments or quotations to exemplify comments. So you see how clear this instruction is, that if it was very short, it was an indicator of the fact that some important content points had been missed. And if it was very long, it was an indicator of the fact that wordy language had been used. Unnecessary explanation had been done. Unnecessary information was provided in the form of references or quotations, picking up information from the text which was not the demand of the question, and this indicated that the students did not follow the rubric. So once you will write an accurate summary of around 120 words, one or two words can be less or one or two words can be more. Otherwise, exceeding excessively or writing below the word limit, both are an indicator of a weak attempt. Therefore, my candidates, those who are appearing, whether for 1123 or 0500, in 1123, when the examiner gives you the word limit of 150, you must not exceed. You must not write a summary of 120. Rather, you should be as close to 150 as possible. Why? Because they are expecting from you the expertise of 3 years in consistent, non-stop, consistent practice. Not that you are constantly making mistakes, sometimes lengthy, sometimes short. So moving on, the most effective responses tended to adhere to the advised word length, that is 120 words, through adopting a concise and focused approach to the task. They indicated that they are writing with precision. Precision means concision. Concision means brevity. Brevity means small but complete in itself. And they had a focused approach. Focused approach means they answered only what was demanded of them. They did not write anything irrelevant and they did not repeat themselves. Therefore, my students, you see how clear the examiner has given these instructions? So, moving on, avoid excessive reliance on original wording of the text. Many responses strung together to the lifted phrases so did end up including a range of ideas, but their responses were only partially effective. Partially effective means they were not completely effective. due to their reliance on the wording of the text. What was the mistake? They were using too much wording of the original text, and they affected the quality of their response and evidence of understanding. And they also showed that they had not understood the question clearly. They were not focusing on the fact that summary requires usage of own words. Summary requires less picking from the original text. Summary requires effective usage of connectors in order to link different content points. So these are the points with regard to summary writing. Now, what is the advice to candidates on question 1F? Summary tasks. What is the first advice? Reread text B. Do not forget to reread. It means that you should read it at least twice. Reread means once you read it, and now before writing summary, read it once again to identify potentially relevant ideas. Potentially means possibly relevant idea. As many relevant ideas as you possibly could underline with pencil on the question paper, identify them. Plan the response using brief notes. You can write short notes on the neat answer paper. Some students take extra sheet. There is no need to take extra sheet. On your neat answer paper, obviously you should know how much lines do you require in order to write 120 or 150 words. So leave those much lines for the final answer, and the remaining 4, 5, 6, or 10 lines, how many remain, use that for the rough draft and make small brief notes to ensure a wide range of ideas from the text is selected. Make sure that you are selecting lot of ideas instead of repeating themselves or instead of writing just a few ideas. This is what you are advised to do by the Cambridge examiner. This is written in the examiner report. Avoid including unnecessary details which do not address the question. Sometimes the students are giving quotations, sometimes the students are giving evidence, sometimes the students are giving examples. This is all unnecessary detail. Avoid it. That is why I have highlighted it with red color. Organize the ideas. It means that interconnected ideas should be written together. It's not necessary that you follow the chronological order of the text. You can group ideas, you can organize them according to your own thinking, according to the arrangement that you have made in your brain. So group them where relevant to ensure that your response is coherent. Coherent means that it is logical. Logical means that it conveys a sense according to the rubric. The points have been grouped together. Avoid repeating ideas. Very clearly, the examiner says so that do not repeat yourself. The advice is continued by the examiner. Avoid including a general introduction or summative conclusion. It means that summary should not have an introduction. Summary should not have a conclusion. There is no need to say that I am going to tell you the summary of, or let's ponder upon the key aspects of this thing and that. There is no need to write the introduction. There is no need for conclusion. You know that 120 words or 150 words are not too many. And remember that this is a test of your brevity. This is the test of how short and accurate and concise you can write. Lengthy answers, many students are very fond of writing, but brief answers only very few students have the potential to write. I will be sharing a sample answer of a student who wrote a very good summary at the end of the video. So please stay tuned. Use your plan rather than the text as you write your some answer to avoid lifting. Once you have made a plan, once you have made brief notes, keep the text aside and now focus on that plan before you write your summary. This will help you avoid lifting from the original text. Write clearly and make sure you express yourself fluently using your own words. So clarity is required, brevity is required, and fluency is required. Fluency means that the sentences should not be jerky. They should not be very, very small sentences. Not that you write one content point in one sentence. No, you can join two content points into one sentence. Sometimes you can even join three content points in the form of a complex sentence where you can start with for example, subordinate clause. For example, you say, although this has been done like this, but now the strategy has been changed. So you can make 2 to 3 content points in one sentence. Avoid lifting phrases. Some students pick up phrases. Just you can pick up a word as it is, you can use it. If you don't know it's a synonym, but complete phrase should not be used by you in the final answer. Do not quote from the text. Do not add comments of or your own views. Students start giving comments because they think that this is also an evaluative question, for example. No, you have to be neutral. You don't have to say I, you don't have to say you in the summary, because the examiner says adopt a neutral style. In the third person, the summary is written. Try to keep to the guidance to write no more than 120 words. So you see, the examiner has once again repeated that do not write more than the prescribed word limit, even if it is 150 in 1123 or 120 in IGCSE. The point is that you should remain as close to the prescribed word limit as possible. Now I'm going to share with you the sample answer of a student who tried to write as accurately as possible. So here is the sample about which I had just talked, and I'm going to read it out with you briefly. I am going to tell you some of the key qualities of this summary. As far as the length is concerned, you can see that this is not a very lengthy summary. It is very close to 120 words. Is it clear? Now, the question, if you say I can read the question, but it says that you are supposed to write 120 words, and it is from the passage Wild West Shows. And according to text B, when attracted audiences to what attracted the audiences to Wild West Shows, you must use continuous writing and you should have 120 words. 10 marks are available for the content and 5 marks for the quality of writing. So, Buffalo Bill was the pioneer of Wild West shows whose growing popularity attracted more and more audiences. Their curiosity led them to follow these shows, witnessing intense action such as gunfights involving popular characters that added to the excitement. Can you see the fluency in the summary? When the student is not she is not writing jerky sentences, rather the student is trying to join the sentences by using, for example, you see this ing form. When you use ing, you try to create present participle and you try to create the effect of linking in your summary. Then it says the events were immensely popular too. After a lengthy sentence, there was a short sentence. People and animals took part in different races, along with shooting exhibitions. Another interesting aspect for audiences was the fact. Now, you see, this is the way to start your sentence when you are talking about the positive aspects of something. So, this is how you can say another interesting aspect for audiences was the fact that Buffalo Bill's show was an adaptation of his real life experiences after he mastered hunting. These hunts were also staged. The fact that about 1,200 people performed at one time, each exhibiting their famous acts, the Wild West shows had great attention from audiences. Now you see that as far as the marks of this student are concerned, in content, she has been awarded 9 by 10 and in quality of writing 4 by 5. And the total score is 13 by 15. You see there is no cutting. There is no spelling mistake. The punctuation is accurate. The content points are according to the marking scheme. The word length requirements have also been fulfilled. The handwriting is legible and there are connectors in between. So this is one of the pattern. There is no you, there is no I. there is neutral tone adopted by the student in this summary. So this is very close, you can say, to a better version. And this is how you people are also supposed to practice writing summary and learn connectors, revise connectors, and then come up with your best attempt. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.